guys, welcome back again from Tampa Bay. It is Friday night, and here's a hurricane update. So far, it's getting a lot worse for the Tampa area, to say the least. So far, remember what I said a few days ago, that you don't know what this thing is going to do until hours, a day at the most, before it happens. And that's exactly what's going on, unfortunately, so far. Every 6 hours or so, they put out new updates. They've run the new models. They're making their predictions, yada, yada, yada. So far, every single time has been wrong. They have just been flat out wrong with their guesses as to what's going on. It's gone from it's going to skirt the East Coast to it's going to hit Miami and go up the side of the coast to it's going to go just inland. All day yesterday, it was supposed to be going straight up the center of Florida. Now, it's looking like it's going up, according to their latest guesses, along inland the East Coast, putting Tampa pretty much right in the bullseye at this moment. But who knows? At this rate, the thing's going to continue to track straight west along Cuba, where it is right now. And that means the further it goes before turning, obviously the further west it goes. But at this point, who knows when it's going to turn? Who knows if it's going to turn? They're just guessing. Which really sucks because pretty much everybody in this area until today was not thinking about a direct hit. This area is not prepared for a direct hit, not by a long shot. This morning they put out more evacuation orders. You can see this hill I'm on here. This is pretty much a dividing line between mandatory and recommended evacuations. Now I'm at the low end. I know the wide angle of the GoPro doesn't show much, but it's a pretty good drop just right there at that little dividing line. Still not concerned about storm surge, but at this point I'm very concerned about wind. I went out this morning, I flubbed a video. I went out early this morning, 6 o'clock when Home Depot opened, and I wanted to get more big cement bolts and another masonry bit because the one I had wore out, to put more bolts down for the gazebo. I want to put a few more down now on the other side, because until now we were planning on the winds coming from the north, which would put the house right in front of the gazebo and make it not that big of a deal. But man, if it's coming from the other side, that could be a problem. It's a 4-season rated structure, but not hurricane rated. So I want to try to keep that thing at least from flying around as much as possible. But right now, we're just kind of in evacuation mode, at least prepping for it. So we're getting all our documents and all that together, putting it in a couple safes. And I'm going over to the bank here to grab a whole bunch of cash, just to have it on hand. Tomorrow, I'm going to grab a whole bunch of ice, just fill up a big cooler. At this point, we are for sure going to be losing power for several days, at the least. Doesn't matter where it hits at this point. It's so far west, and the way the winds work, it's going to tear absolutely everything up around here as far as infrastructure. So, yeah, now I'm kind of regretting not getting a generator just because of the fridge. Like I said, nobody on this coast was thinking about a direct hit, because until today, they weren't even saying it was a possibility. Out of cash. All right. Great. I specifically got an email today that said Chase was around, specifically stocking the machines with cash. Well, I'm going to continue to look around then. Fortunately, we do have a couple priority gas stations right here, but those are pretty much the only 2 stations in this entire area that have had fuel for the past 3 days. The panic buying that started back when I talked about it a few days ago really screwed everybody. They said demand spiked at 400% normal. It wiped out supplies. And then the next day, South Florida had mandatory evacuations ordered. So the entire northern corridors for I-95 and I-75 had been parking lots. And that's where all the fuel is being diverted to, all the trucks, to keep that flow of people moving. Obviously, that's most important. So only priority stations everywhere else have been getting fuel. We're all topped off. We both work from home, and we don't need to go anywhere, so that didn't affect us. We were pretty much already full anyway. I put a couple gallons in this because I've been doing all my running around on this just to conserve fuel. This is the one priority station right here, the Wawa we have, and yeah, they're still operating. They put out orders that this one would have fuel absolutely as long as possible. They're still operating, so that's good. Well, like I said, that's about it. So I've got another couple chases to try up here, and well, I guess I'll try any banks at this point. I don't care about a fee. Just have emergency cash if needed. Hopefully not, but if power goes out, obviously nobody's going to be running debit or credit cards, so absolutely need that. And like I said, until tonight, wasn't really on anybody's mind. When I was at Home Depot, they were almost completely sold out of those screws. What I didn't count on was that people were using those to board up windows, and they were doing that at the last minute because of the recent track update early this morning. All of a sudden, everyone rushed out to get anything possible to cover windows. So they were lined up for all the plywood. That was gone in an instant. Anyway, that's the update so far. We just had a little bit of rain today, but it wasn't related to the storm. And the other thing is, all these track updates, the time schedule's been just completely up in the air. It was supposed to start hitting tonight and early morning tomorrow, but now it's not even going to be until Sunday evening till anything starts. And it just keeps getting pushed back because it hasn't turned north at all. It's just skimming Cuba at this point. Everyone's stressed out. Everyone's anxious. Definitely not cool. If we have to evacuate, I mean, we'll grab our stuff and go. There's only one road that we can basically do anything with, and that's 54. That's our main evacuation route. We can't go north, and the water is right there to the left. Can't go south, so that's our only option. Right now, all the freeways are an absolute parking lot. It's been that way for about a day and a half. I had some friends that were south of here evacuate at 1 in the morning yesterday, and they just made it to Alabama this morning. They said they almost ran out of fuel because everything along the freeway routes is out. They said they even had trouble finding a bathroom because facilities were just absolutely swarmed. Well, let's see if SunTrust here has anything. Somehow I doubt it, but a guy was at the ATM, so that's encouraging. Okay, success. It only let me take out 500, but should be enough for emergencies. So at this point, it's a little bit of a waiting game. Tomorrow is going to be the absolute tell-all if we're staying or going. If it's looking like it turns and it's going to be a direct hit in Tampa, no, we're going. There's absolutely no point in staying. The house would not sustain anything like that. So that's it for now. Like I said, I don't know when I'll have another update. Just depends on how things pan out. Hopefully, at this point, all we can hope for is the least worst scenario. It's going to be bad no matter what, but anything but a direct hit will be welcome at this point. And we'll see what happens. See you next time, guys. Hopefully, still with the motorcycle.